Hello, and welcome to our presentation about climate resilience in Asheville, North Carolina. This project explores the perceived benefits and barriers of implementing stormwater management practices on private property in the Central Asheville watershed. We are working in partnership with local stakeholders, which you can see listed on the slide, and Lenoir-Rhyne University graduate students in Asheville. We received a 3-year grant from the NCDEQ Land and Water Fund to examine innovative stormwater practices and community perceptions, completed alongside the context of the City of Asheville's Climate Resilience Initiative. This is the first phase of a multiple phase project.
We began our study by conducting a literature review to better understand best practices for community-based social marketing and the implementation of green infrastructure. There are many barriers and challenges and benefits to installing green infrastructure. Our survey helped us better identify these in the Central Asheville watershed community. Principles and practices of Mackenzie Moore and others guided our approach to developing and distributing the community survey.
The first phase of this project was connected to environmental policy, a graduate class in the spring of 2021. And we worked with project partners who shared the goals of the project and the insights about stormwater management practices. Students then designed interviews extending from their literature reviews, and they conducted all of those interviews. And they built a network of stakeholders and learned from those stakeholders about other stakeholders. They then designed a survey and they implemented the pilot of the survey at the end of the course in the spring. The project continued with Reese Fellows managing the process along the way into the summer.
In implementing our survey, we utilized various distribution methods to help us reach a large pool of possible respondents. This included 2,000 postcard mailers, reaching out to local neighborhood associations and other community partners, and tabling along the new greenway along the French Broad River. When conducting this survey, we faced the challenges of trying to reach a diverse group and also getting people interested and to take the time to complete it. To help combat the challenges, we reached out to groups with different backgrounds and added an incentive of raffling off a free rain barrel and offered the survey in Spanish. We ended with 87 completed surveys to analyze.
Our participants are relatively evenly distributed across age, household income, and relation to the watershed. 92% of these people surveyed are considered above the North Carolina poverty line, and a majority of our respondents consider these issues to be important.
Most of the respondents marked cost and lack of good public policy as barriers to implementing stormwater management, and the most requested forms of assistance were technical and design. Environmental factors such as improved water quality, environmental responsibility, and improved biodiversity were all commonly marked motivating factors, while personal reasons such as aesthetics, stress relief, and financial benefits were less motivating. When asked who is responsible for stormwater management on private property, city government received the highest percentage of responses, with oneself, neighborhood residents, and businesses next.
Even in a sample that cares a lot about these issues, there was a hesitancy to take our survey due to the lack of confidence in personal knowledge. Our participants were motivated by environmental responsibilities, though we do recognize the bias of those surveyed and are still thinking of ways to engage those who are not as motivated by these reasons. Perceived shared responsibility showed that there is a need for cooperation and individuals to act when it comes to stormwater management. All of these were great insights for our next phase of research.
And the next phase is connected to a class in the fall of 2021 called Visions of Sustainable Communities. And in that, students are organizing a community meeting where we can share these results, have insights and tips on strategies for implementing stormwater management and getting more feedback from the community. We're also exploring public policy implications, and we're informing our project partners on different strategies for installation and the processes they're engaging. We're going to continue to monitor and interview, and we're going to connect this work to a class in the spring of 2022 called Sustainability, Behavior, Education, and Communication. We think we learned a whole lot that's very useful for our context, and we look forward to your questions and your conversation. Thank you very much for your attention. Take care.